It's another edition of Time About the Movies. It's the weekend of May 17th, 1991. We've got 5 movies to look at today, so let's not waste any time. Let's just jump right on into it. And we're going to start with the first movie on the list, and that is Bill Murray and Richard Dreyfuss in the comedy What About Bob? Such a great movie, man. I mean, this movie really is one of the funniest movies that I've ever seen. It's a very funny movie. It works because of both Bill Murray and Richard Dreyfuss. They have great comic chemistry together. Even though they had a reported feud on the set of the film that they didn't really like each other all that much, and they've said in interviews since then that they didn't like each other all that much. Their comic chemistry, despite that, is still very good. This movie has so many great memorable lines to it. Everybody can relate to this situation. You've had a guy like Bill Murray's character in your life that you try to be nice to, but he'll drive you crazy no matter what kind of position you're in. And like I said, you can really relate to this movie on that level. And like I said, it's just a funny movie. There are so many moments in here that I was laughing out loud the first time I saw this movie years ago. It's a friggin' fantastic movie. I don't think I really need to say too much more about this movie because I think everybody knows how good this movie is. It has a loyal following to it. I mean, they made Funko Pop figures for this movie, and I have the proof to show you that. See what I mean? They actually made a pop figure for the character from What About Bob? I mean, that should tell you everything you need to know about how good of a following this movie has. I mean, when I saw this at a Walmart, I was just like Bill Murray in this movie. I was just like, gimme, I need. And there you go. I have that in my collection. So that's how you know that movie has had a long-lasting impact since it's come out. I can't really talk about this movie enough. It's absolutely hilarious. It's so brilliantly funny. Murray and Dreyfuss just work off each other so well. I don't think I need to say how good this movie is anymore. You probably have already seen it for yourself. If you haven't, definitely check this movie out. It's definitely worth a watch. What About Bob? So, with that said, let's move on to the next movie, and that is Brian Bosworth in the action thriller Stone Cold. I guess you could probably enjoy Stone Cold in the same way you can enjoy What About Bob, except What About Bob is clearly intended to be a comedy, and Stone Cold is unintentionally a comedy in some way, shape, or form, but yeah, Stone Cold's a perfect example of a so bad it's good type of movie. I mean, it's definitely not a very good movie in terms of script and story-wise, but honestly, I don't think the movie even cares. The movie itself knows it's a so bad it's good type of movie. It's one of those guilty pleasure type of movies, and you just go along for the ride. It makes no sense whatsoever. There are no consequences whatsoever at the end of this movie. Everybody that's supposed to be an important character in this dies in probably the most hilarious ways. And you just can't help it, man. You just go in there, you just turn your brain off, and you just enjoy it. I mean, that's the best way to go into this movie, and that's honestly the way I went into it. And I had a blast, man. This movie is so stupid. It's so ridiculous, but goddamn, I had a great time for it. Brian Bosworth, you know what? He can't stop Bo Jackson from running out of the stadium in '87, but you know what? He's not that bad. He's pretty good as an over-the-top action hero in this movie. It's also got a decent cast, too. Lance Henriksen's in this. Bill Forsythe, Sam McMurray from Tracy Ullman Show, and also the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. And, but yeah, like I said before, man, like, it's a ridiculous movie. It's incredibly stupid, but it's one of those great guilty pleasure movies. Like, you watch it, and it's just like, okay, I got the idea, and you either have to decide if you want to turn your brain off or just exit now. I turned my brain off, and I had a pretty damn good time with it. Stone Cold, man. If you haven't seen it, if you love these so bad it's good guilty pleasure type of movies, this is definitely going to be the movie for you. So, with that said, let's move on to the next movie. And the next movie is so bad it's pretty bad. But you might be interested in what I have to say about the first one of these. But let's talk about Mannequin 2 on the Move. So it's controversial opinion time. I didn't hate the first Mannequin. I know a lot of people did. I know it didn't make a ton of money at the box office in '87, but everyone kept saying it was a bad movie. I watched it, and honestly, I didn't hate it. I thought it had a good charm to it. Andrew McCarthy and Kim Cattrall had some good chemistry. There were some fun moments between them. It's a ridiculous movie. It has that great theme song, Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now. It's a silly movie. It's completely over the top and ridiculous, but I don't know. I had fun with it. I mean, I don't know what to say. It's one of those things where it's just like, I should hate this movie, but I really didn't. I really didn't hate that movie as much as I thought I was going to. Second one, not so much. I think this is exactly what everyone thought I thought the first movie was going to be like, except it's even worse. This movie just doesn't work. It takes that little bit of charm that the first movie had and just throws it out the window to make a cash grab sequel that has nothing to work for it. The chemistry between the two leads in this one, Christy Swanson, William Ragsdale, it's just not there. They take this over-the-top element and just put it into an insane new level. And the movie can't even decide if it wants to take place in the same world as the first film, despite the fact that two people from the first film are back in this one. But they decide to not have one of the actors play the same character from the first film. I mean, so what's the point here? Is this supposed to be a solo sequel or what? I don't know what's going on. The jokes aren't funny. The ancient mythology thing that they added to this is laughingly bad. You got Terry Kaiser from Weekend at Bernie's, who's doing nothing but mugging for the camera because you know what? He did it in Weekend at Bernie's and it worked, except that Weekend at Bernie's knew what it was supposed to be, just like the first Mannequin knew what it was supposed to be. But it doesn't work here, and it's just like, it's as bad as you think it is. It's nothing like the first movie where they actually do kind of surprise you a bit with a film that's kind of charming. But in this, there's just nothing here. It's a bad movie. The comedy doesn't work. The script is all over the place. The chemistry doesn't work. It's a bad movie. It's definitely one of the worst films that came out in '91. Give the first Mannequin a chance. Go into it with an open mind. You might find yourself enjoying it. But avoid Mannequin 2 like the plague. Just avoid it. It's a terrible, terrible movie. So let's go ahead and move on to the next movie, and that's the foreign film Auntie Danielle. Or Tati Danielle, if you're going by the trailer. I really don't know anything about this movie. Apparently it's a black comedy. It's about this woman who is a childless woman of an army colonel. Her family goes on an extended vacation, leaving her in the care of this younger woman, and I guess they have a back-and-forth matchup, though many turbulent episodes, these two women develop a love-hate relationship. I'm reading this directly from Wikipedia because, like I said, I have no idea this movie even existed until I looked it up. But, I don't know. I don't know what it's trying to be. Maybe it is trying to be like kind of a Home Alone, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead type of comedy, but I can't really tell from it because I only found that one trailer on YouTube and that's about it, so I can't really comment on it. But I acknowledge that it exists and it came out on this day, so there you go. Auntie Danielle, or Tati Danielle, depending on where you're watching this from. Let's go ahead and move on to the last movie, and that is John Cassavetes' Opening Night. So this is a weird one. I thought this was a movie that came out at the time period of 1991, but this is actually a re-release of a John Cassavetes film that he directed back in 1977. The premise of this is that Jenna Rollins plays a stage actress who she witnesses the accidental death of one of her fans, and after this, she's haunted by this ghost of the woman, which causes her to have this massive nervous breakdown as she's getting ready to premiere in this Broadway play. And honestly, this has actually sounded like a pretty good idea for a movie. It's a pretty interesting looking movie from the little bits of clips I've seen online. So yeah, this is one I might definitely check out one day. It's nothing, I haven't seen it, so I can't really comment on it right now, but this idea and the premise does sound pretty promising, and everyone keeps saying that Jenna Rollins really steals the show in this movie, and you also have Ben Gazzara in here. Cassavetes himself stars in this as well. Like I said, it definitely has a lot of promise to it, so one day I might definitely check it out, because this sounds like a really good movie that could be very entertaining. But for the moment, it's the movie that came out well, it's already been out, but it was re-released on this weekend, so I'm acknowledging it here. Definitely looking forward to checking it out one day, because it sounds like a really good movie. So, there you go, John Cassavetes' Opening Night. So on that note, we wrap up another edition of Time About the Movies. When we come back here on Sunday, we have a lot of movies to look at on Memorial Day weekend 1991, including Ron Howard's All-Star Ensemble Firefighter drama Backdraft. We also have Bruce Willis's mega misfire Hudson Hawk, Gina Davis and Susan Sarandon in the cult classic Thelma and Louise, John Candy and John Hughes' Only the Lonely from Home Alone director Chris Columbus. Drop Dead Fred. Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken. Straight Outta Brooklyn, and An Angel at My Table. So let me see how many that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 movies to look at next time around. So we're going to have a very busy show when we come back here on Sunday. But it's going to be a very busy weekend on this channel, too, because tomorrow is a new movie stop, and I'm going to go see the new Jordan Peele movie, Nope. I'm hearing a lot of good things about it, so I can't wait to check it out. But you're also going to get not 1, but 2 Multiplicity episodes, and they're not for The Godfather. I'm going to hold off on The Godfather one because there's new steelbooks coming out in October, and I want to get my hands on those. So I'll hold off on that one for now, but I'm going to do 2 movie stop episodes because I have 2 newest releases that came out this week that I want to do, including The Beatles Get Back and also the Bob's Burgers movie. So there'll be 2 separate episodes that we'll delve into those that'll be coming out tomorrow. So along with the movie stop episode, you'll get 2 Multiplicity episodes, I should say. So gonna be a very busy weekend here on the Reviewing Network YouTube channel, so be on the lookout for those, and of course be on the lookout for the next time about the movies on Sunday. So with that said, all that said, thank you for watching this, and if you want to see more videos like this, check out the playlist on the next page, check out the previous episode, and I will see you guys tomorrow for one of the new videos, or if you're going to be joining me back here on Sunday for a time about the movies, then I'll see you then. But other than that, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time, and until then, as always, take care.